Hey, this video will be about Kenneth Copeland, false teacher. There are many reasons why Kenneth Copeland is a false teacher. Here are the following reasons. He loves money. He has yelled out, quote, "Money cometh to me now," unquote. Here is a video where he has said this out loud. Here it is. So there it is, straight from his mouth. He said that with a passion and a smile in his face. As we go to the Bible, from the scriptures, Matthew chapter 6 verse 24 states, and I quote, "No one can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will be loyal to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon," unquote. So Kenneth Copeland cannot serve God and money. 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 10, quote, "For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil, for which some have strayed from the faith in their greediness and pierced themselves through with many sorrows," unquote. So it is clear Kenneth Copeland loves money, and he has bragged about being a billionaire. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't be bragging about material things, but you should boast in Jesus Christ. So another false doctrine or teaching that Kenneth Copeland teaches is we are little gods. Many false teachers like to use John chapter 10 verse 34, and this is where it is in the Bible. Quote, "Jesus answered them, 'It is not written in your law, I said you are gods,'" unquote. I'm reading from the study Bible, and the answer to that is, in the Old Testament, judges were called gods. They exercised God-like judicial sovereignty. Psalm 82:6, the verse quoted here, refers to judges who violate the law. Jesus' argument was that if the divine name had been applied by God to mere men, there could be neither blasphemy nor folly in its application to the incarnate Son of God himself. So there you go. That explains why you shouldn't use John chapter 10 verse 34 as to support your false doctrines of we are little gods. And those who doubt Kenneth Copeland teaches such heresy, here is proof.
When I read in the Bible where he says, "I am," I just smile and say, "Yes, I am too."
So there you go. He says, when God says, "I am," he smiles and he says, "I am too." God's name is I am. And Jesus says in John chapter 8 verse 58 that before Abraham was, I am. So that is false teaching. And here is another false teaching. He says it again from another video.
God's reason for creating Adam was his desire to reproduce himself. I mean a reproduction of himself. And in the Garden of Eden, he did that. He was not a little like God. He was not almost like God. He was not subordinate to God even. And Adam was as much like God as you could get. Just the same as Jesus, when he came into the earth, he said, "If you've seen me, you've seen the Father." He wasn't a lot like God. He's God manifested in the flesh. And I want you to know something. Adam in the Garden of Eden was God manifested in the flesh. God came from heaven.
So there you go. He said himself straight from his mouth that Adam was God in the flesh. Now, if that doesn't prove to you that Kenneth Copeland is a false teacher, then I don't know what does. But wait, there is more. He also joined with the Catholic Church and the Pope Francis. This is everywhere on YouTube, so I will provide video evidence for it in the description box or in the comment section. Also, because it goes for long, 45 minutes to an hour, another false thing that Kenneth Copeland has said. He said that God is the biggest failure in the Bible. And so let's hear him say that, and here it is.
I was shocked when I found out who the biggest failure in the Bible actually is. Okay. You know, everybody asks, you say, who's the biggest failure? They say, Judas. Somebody else will say, no, I believe it's Adam. Well, how about the devil? He's the most consistent failure. Okay. But he's not the biggest in terms of material failure and so forth. The biggest one in the whole Bible is God. Oh, what? Don't you turn that set off. You listen to it. I told you, now you sit still a minute. You know me well enough. No, I wouldn't tell something I can't prove with the Bible. He lost his top-ranking, most anointed angel, the first man he ever created, the first woman he ever created, the whole earth, and all the fullness therein, a third of the angels at least. That's big loss, man. I mean, you figure all that, that's a lot of real estate, brother. Gone down the drain. Now, the reason you don't think of God as a failure is he never said he's a failure. And you're not a failure till you say you won.
So there it is. He admits and teaches that God is the biggest failure in the Bible. And so, after looking at all of that, it is clear, very, very clear, Kenneth Copeland is a false teacher, and anyone who listens to him should flee. He's dangerous. His false teachings lead to hell. I hope he repents of these false teachings. Thanks for watching.